We intelligent women are tired of hiding our brilliance. The saddest thing about being intelligent is that eventually you learn that understanding people is more important than being understood. So you become easy, relatable, smaller, not because you're fake, but because being fully seen starts to feel isolating. In this video, I'm going to show you why that happens. I'm Dr. Princess, PharmD, and if you ever felt misunderstood in rooms where you're clearly the most aware, this is for you. Number one, you learned that competence threatens belonging. Humans don't fear being smart. We fear losing connection. Maybe you were called intimidating. Maybe people rolled their eyes when you spoke. Maybe you learned that being right came with consequences. So you eventually stopped sharing what you know. Not because you doubt yourself, because belonging matters. And belonging often feels more important than the truth. When I started noticing this in myself, it showed up in dating. I would mention my doctorate, how much I knew, almost casually, and I could feel the shift. The conversations will cool, the energy will change, sometimes no second date. And I remember thinking, maybe I'm just too much. So I actually started shrinking how I spoke, softening what I knew, downplaying my intelligence, trying to feel easier to be around. I told myself it was humility, but it wasn't. It was shrinking. You don't have to prove how smart you are, but you don't also have to apologize for it. If you're an ambitious woman trying to reconnect with a version of yourself you've abandoned in order to survive, I send one practical insight every week to heal hidden wounds, rebuild confidence, and become the woman you were always meant to be. You can join below. Number two, you became an expert at reading the room. Eventually, you became good at adjusting yourself. Speak less, laugh more, simplify what you know. Let others take the lead, not because you lacked confidence, but because you mastered strategic visibility. Being seen just to belong, but not fully enough to be read. You know exactly how much of yourself to reveal and how much to hold back. And that skill makes you likable, but it also makes you invisible. For years, I stayed quiet in meetings, not because anyone told me to, but because I assumed my thinking may be too deep, too layered, too outside of the box of what's expected. So I filtered myself before I even spoke to be less too much, because I didn't want to be misunderstood as overcomplicating things. As a Black woman who's beautiful, competent, and visible, I also became aware of something unspoken. The visibility can sometimes come with misinterpretation. And I told myself I was being collaborative, easygoing, professional. But really, I was managing how much of my mind people were allowed to see. Sometimes what you call humility is preemptive self-editing. Ask yourself, am I fully being present in this room? Or am I showing the version of me I think is acceptable? Number three, you confused being liked with being small. To hell with being liked. It's an expensive endeavor. Because of the acceptance gained from being liked, shrinking became normal. You became agreeable, easygoing, not intimidating, and people praised you for it. So you think this version must be working. But slowly, something strange happens. You stop expressing strong opinions. Stop sharing ideas. Stop showing your full personality because you've unconsciously decided that being loved is more important than being yourself. At work, one of my directors once told me I had leadership skills, that I could navigate complex situations and get people moving. I brushed it off. I didn't think much of it. Looking back, I realized I spent more time minimizing compliments instead of accepting them because being exceptional felt uncomfortable and being humble felt safer. Being liked and being fully expressed are not the same thing. And sometimes the price of being universally acceptable is limiting how much of you actually gets expressed. The goal isn't to impress people. It's to stop hiding from your potential. Number four, you started playing a character and now you can't switch it off. So you became the calm one, the easy one, the non-threatening one, the girl who doesn't make people uncomfortable. At first, it felt like safety, less pushback, less tension, more acceptance. But over time, the role stopped feeling chosen and started feeling automatic. And now it doesn't switch off, even when you are alone. People only connect with the version of you they meet, and you've been meeting them with a filtered version, editing yourself before no one even asks. And that creates a loop. Less of you shown, less of you reflected. Over time, a fractured identity. Number 5, you believe love requires shrinking. Even in romantic relationships, you've learned to make yourself smaller, less opinionated, less intense, less sharp, because you've learned that being fully expressed disrupts connection. So shrinking becomes a strategy to be chosen, to be kept, to be understood, to be loved. Compatibility shouldn't require self-erasure. The problem with shrinking your intelligence isn't just that people miss out on you. Eventually, you start missing out on yourself. Opportunities you don't pursue, ideas you don't share, rooms you never enter. Not because you lack ability, but because you spend so much time protecting other people from your brightness that you accidentally hidden your own life. If you're looking for more personalized support, I work with a limited number of women one-on-one. You'll find the details below. The final but not the least, you mistook curiosity for showing off. This is subtle because intelligent women are naturally curious. We ask questions, share ideas, love learning, but somewhere along the way, enthusiasm got misread. Maybe you were called a know-it-all. Maybe people rolled their eyes. Maybe your excitement made others feel uncomfortable. So eventually you stopped sharing your interests, stopped asking questions, stopped letting yourself get excited. And something beautifully, quietly disappeared, your curiosity. I remember realizing that I often withheld questions in conversations because I didn't want people thinking that I was trying to prove something. Looking back though, I wasn't protecting relationships. I was apologizing for being inquisitive, and you shouldn't do that. Intelligence isn't arrogance, curiosity isn't showing off, and excitement isn't something you should have to hide. The next time you light up talking about something you love, don't immediately dim your light. Someone else's insecurity isn't the instructions for your personality. The goal was never to become less intelligent. The goal was never to become easier to digest. The goal was never to make everyone comfortable. The goal is integration, because intelligence was never the problem. Visibility was. And visibility requires something many ambitious women were never taught. Permission to be brilliant, permission to be misunderstood, permissions to have opinions, permissions to take up space, permission to stop managing everyone's comfort. Because healing doesn't mean becoming louder. It means becoming less edited. If this video resonated with you, I've created a free Strong Woman Recovery Guide. It's a short exercise designed to help ambitious women reconnect with parts of you you've abandoned in order to survive. Download it below. You don't need to become less intelligent. You don't need to become less ambitious. You don't need to make yourself easier to swallow, because the world doesn't need a smaller version of you. For women like us, intelligence was never the problem. Hiding was. I'm Dr. Princess. I'll see you next time. Ciao.